Hello guys, today I wanted to make a video about something I think is missing from Doctor Who at the moment. Aside from a competent showrunner, three-dimensional women, the inclusion and normalisation of minorities and basic humanity, families. I'm talking about families. I thought I'd make this video to highlight the lack of depth put into our current female companions and to contrast that with what we had under Russell T Davies. I'm surprised I even have to make this because, to me, as a viewer, the difference in the approaches of the two showrunners when it comes to humans and female characters is absolutely blindingly obvious. But anyway, here we go. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be a list of companions, a list of their families, and what we know about them. Number 1, Rose Tyler. Mother, Jackie Tyler. Jackie lost her husband Pete in an accident when Rose was little, and since then she's brought Rose up all by herself, so she's understandably very close to Rose and also very protective of her. She's initially quite suspicious of the Doctor, and she's also very aware of the fact that she's from a working class background, and she doesn't like the fact Rose is getting airs and graces. She absolutely wants the best for Rose. She's very loving, she's very warm, she's very scatty and silly, but she is socially very intelligent. She's got lots of friends, she won't take any shit from anyone, and she is there for Rose when Rose needs her. On the beach at Doomsday, it's her mother that Rose runs to. Father, Pete Tyler. Unfortunately, Pete died when Rose was a baby, but we have an entire episode dedicated to the day of his death, so we can see what sort of a father he was. Pete's a diamond in the rough. He's a bit of a blokey bloke. You can tell he's probably got some dodgy deals going on. He's got lots of ideas and ambition, but he hasn't got the reliability or the drive to ever make anything of them, which is really sad. I mean, we are so unbelievably in depth here to a character that is dead at this point in the narrative, that we have 2 variations of Pete, depending on which universe he grew up in, and they're both believably still him. Boyfriend/friend Mickey Smith. Mickey is a bit older than Rose, and he was looked after by Jackie almost like a son. For a while he lived with his grandmother, who was blind, but unfortunately she died by falling down the stairs and breaking her neck. We see in the Cyberman 2-parter in Series 2, in which Mickey really comes into his own, that one of Mickey's greatest regrets is that he didn't fix that carpet, and he feels a lot of guilt and blame over his grandmother's death. Companion number 2, Martha Jones. Mother, Francine Jones. Now, Francine is fierce. She's a career woman. She's determined. She takes no nonsense from anybody. She's rightfully very scornful of her ex-husband at the moment. We don't know quite how they broke up, but we know that it was a very difficult time, and she's currently acting as the matriarch. She's like a lioness, looking after her children, and she's very, very frustrated with her husband. The whole family is falling apart because of this relationship breakup. Father, Clive Jones. It's implied he might have cheated on Francine, but either way he's definitely going through some sort of midlife crisis. He's currently shirking his responsibilities, he's got a very young girlfriend, and he's just not being the reliable father that the family need. Big sister Tish Jones, Letitia Jones. She's gossipy, she's ambitious, she's a PR executive. She's very close to Martha. In Martha's first episode we see her chatting to Martha and trying to get her advice, and she's going to meet her for lunch. As the oldest child, she seems to be a fierce supporter of her mother, whereas Martha wants to kind of stay neutral in the situation. Leo doesn't want to get involved. She's very much on her mother's side. In one episode, we see Tish function as a sort of companion, as she, Martha and the Doctor band together to try and stop Professor Lazarus from turning everybody into these very dry and scary husks. Little brother is Leo Jones. He's sort of broken away from the family a bit, presumably because of the stress of his mother and father constantly arguing and all that drama, and he's got himself a girlfriend and a little girl. He's 21 years old, and we know that because it's his 21st birthday party where the family feud really kicks off. Leo is a typical younger brother. He wants an easy life, he's laid back, he wants to stay away from all the conflict, and you can see that he's sort of pampered and babied a little bit because he's the youngest of his generation. Companion number 3, Donna Noble. Mother, Sylvia Noble. Now, Sylvia's not very easy to warm to because the viewers can see that she emotionally abuses Donna quite severely. She's very practical and stern, and she seems to have taken the death of her husband Jeff very badly. Sylvia is desperate for Donna to succeed. I mean, she pushes and pushes and pushes her verbally, but what she doesn't realise is that with all this pushing, she's actually bringing Donna down. She's decreasing her confidence and her self-worth, and it's really sad to watch. Father, Jeff Noble. Now, Jeff Noble died, and so did the actor who played him, which is why we don't get very much of him. But he is at Donna's wedding to Lance, and he walks her down the aisle. He seems very kind and very understanding, and you can certainly see the hole that's been left in the family after he's gone. In The End of Time Part 2, the Doctor actually borrows £1 from Jeff to get a lottery ticket for Donna, and so we can see that Jeff is generous and just a really nice guy. Grandfather, Wilfrid Mott, lovely Wilf. Wilf is Donna's strength, he's her guidance, and he's her friend. Wilfrid is kind, he's heroic, he's moral, he's a massive supporter of the Queen. He served in the military, but he never killed a man, something he's fiercely proud of. Wilf is selfless, he's positive, he's generous, he supports both his daughter and his granddaughter after Jeff passes away. In The End of Time Part 2, Wilfred sacrifices his life for an ordinary man he's never met, and he acts as a sort of father figure to the 10th Doctor, something 10 really needs at the end of his incarnation. Companion number 4, Amelia Pond. Mother, Tabitha Pond. Now this does surprise quite a few people because they don't know who on earth she is. The name doesn't ring any bells. That's because she features in an episode for about 2 minutes and then never shows up again ever. She's never talked about. We find out nothing else about her. There is literally nothing else I can tell you about Tabitha Pond other than the fact she's married to Augustus Pond and her daughter is Amelia. Father, Augustus Pond, Amy's funny little Scottish dad. Now we know nothing about this character apart from the fact he's little, he's funny and he's Scottish. He is at Amy's wedding and he makes a speech. That's it really. I even went on the Augustus and Tabitha Pond Wikipedia page to see if I could grab any more information about them to tell you, but there is literally nothing else to tell. And last on Amy's list we have Aunt Sharon, who we also know nothing about. All we know is that Amy lived with Aunt Sharon in one version of her timeline because her family had been erased from time by the crack. I can tell you, however, that Aunt Sharon is Amy's aunt and she's also called Sharon. Companion number 5, Clara Oswald. Mother, Ellie Oswald. Now, Ellie is dead. She died in 2005. We know this because we see that Clara and her father are at Ellie's grave. We see Ellie feature in a couple of flashbacks. We see her save Dave from wandering out into the road with a leaf in his face and getting hit by a car. We also know that she said the phrase, "Oh my stars," quite a lot because Clara says that as well. I think that's a really nice touch, but that's pretty much all we get of Ellie. Father, Dave Oswald, he almost got hit by a car because a leaf blew into his eye, then his wife died and he regenerated into a different actor. And now for the final member of Clara's family, Gran. Yes, her name is actually Gran Oswald on Doctor Who Wikipedia. She is Gran Oswald because she has no name. She is just Clara's Gran Oswald. There is no information about Gran other than the fact her husband is dead. We don't know her relationship with Clara. We know nothing else about her. I mean, God knows who that other woman was in the time of the Doctor. You know, there was that other sort of moody woman sitting at the dinner table in Clara's flat, which looked like it was in the Powell estate. We don't know if that was Clara's stepmom, if it was an aunt. We have no idea. Apparently Stephen Moffat didn't think it was important to tell us. So in summary, the proof, it is here. You can headcanon all you want about Family Pond and Family Oswald, but it's not there in the source material. There simply isn't enough depth or character development, and it's not good enough for a show like Doctor Who. Stephen Moffat has stripped away everything I once loved from Doctor Who. He's stripped away my juicy three-dimensional female characters. He's stripped away the humanity. He's stripped away the drama. He's stripped away the real emotion. Everything is gone apart from 11 being misogynistic, a load of explosions, and plots that don't make sense and nobody can follow or care about. Stephen Moffat doesn't understand families, he doesn't understand people, and it's destroying Doctor Who. This has been Claudia Boleyn talking about the lack of families and character development in Moffat-era Doctor Who. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!